Welcome to ManUp with the Kenosha Cougars. I'm your host, Bill Fritsch, and I'm glad and excited to announce joining me, new co-host Pete. Pete, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you decide to come to the Kenosha Cougars 8-Man Football League.
Well, I'm a huge football fan, love football, excited about an 8-man football game. I watched some of the videos online, and what I saw was extremely exciting, and I wanted to be a part of it. Coach Tom and I have coached together, so I have a relationship with him. I'm the voice of the Junior ZBs just south of the border in Zion, Illinois, and I'm just excited to get involved in this program.
Also thank you. And also joining us, the heart and soul of the team, number 57 center, owner, does everything except sell popcorn at halftime, Eric Daniel, and of course our second-year head coach. Very excited to introduce Tom Osborne. Kenosha Cougars, man up. Eric, what are teams like the Kenosha Cougars in 8-man football doing to try to prevent some of these injuries that have been happening? And especially you talked about what happened to us last season with all these numerous injuries. What can we do to cut back on it, Eric?
Well, this is something that Tom and myself and of course Savino have been very big on in the offseason. We've been talking about this weekly with all the injuries that we've had. Concussion awareness is something that every team goes through. We're playing on the artificial grass, getting hit down, on that artificial grass does definitely increase some injuries. But we have really stepped it up with John Daniels, our trainer, that is going to be doing physicals. We're going to be working more on the stretching part of it. I'm not sure if you got anything to add on some of our conversations.
Well, I know about 3/4 of my coaching staff went through concussion awareness training this off season as well. So we're a lot more educated on the symptoms and what to look for when the players come off the field. Obviously, Dr. John is the final say, but we can recognize those symptoms a lot faster than we could in the past. So we're making strides to be very aware of that major issue in football right now.
Pete, you asked a good question to Coach Tom before about the kickoffs. And those are some of the things, Eric, that we're trying to prevent, not having kickoffs like they do in the NFL. A lot of special teams, you see a lot of guys going down in special teams. So besides not having kickoffs, is there any other new rules that the GFL and the 8-man football league are putting in this season?
Not that I'm aware of. Obviously not having special teams does cut down the risk tremendously. But let's face it, football's football, and we're gonna have collisions, and we're not gonna get rid of concussions, but at least we can better prepare for them. So.
Well, I'm not sure if you saw the article. I know you forwarded me the article, I believe, or Savino did. NFL's even talking about getting rid of kickoffs. Yeah. It's something that's going to be that's a big topic of discussion. You guys seen how the NFL moved up where the kickoffs are actually coming from, getting a lot more touchbacks than ever has before. So you're not seeing those Devin Hester type returns as we used to, 2-3 years ago, and it's something that the GFL is already at.
So that would be good, but now let's talk about some of the things for this upcoming season, off-season preparations and activities that fans can get involved with at Racine Kenosha to really show their support for this organization that I think I've been around semi-pro football a long time, folks, and this organization is just a class act. And I enjoy working with these guys, and I'm going to look forward to working with Pete. But Eric, first of all, what are some of the things that fans can look forward to this upcoming season that we're working on already?
Well, right here. We're over here at CR25. This is one step that we're definitely getting into.
Thank you.
We are moving it up on the entertainment with the new ownership of Tom coming in and his wife Melissa. They have taken on their roles. Before it was 100% me, and now I got Savino. That's been a huge addition to the Kenosha Cougars in the advertising, the marketing part of it. So we're able to actually get it all separated and have a lot more fun doing it now. So you're going to see more bands like we did with last year during the Lynx game. You're probably going to see more of the bands, marching bands going forth. You're going to see. Just to give you a taste of some of the things coming up, I guess. I don't want to spill it all yet.
Well, that's one thing neat about this organization. Every year I talk to Eric, and there's always, what can we do a first of? And Pete, bringing you aboard is really a big step, and congratulations for joining us.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to working with you. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we've got our stat man in the background, Kevin Polchuk, who does our stats. He'll be helping us out. But I tell you, I get fans' reaction, and they can't believe what we do. 8-man football, and we're doing things that some other semi-pro teams and even NFL does with bands, and like Eric said, and different things in the cheerleaders. We got the best cheerleading team, and now we got a good head coach. I really feel good vibes this upcoming season, and those are some of the preparations that start right now. Eric?
Well, we'll let Maggie and Crystal talk about the polls, but there's going to be some hidden surprises over there as well. We're talking about taking that a step up. I know we've had some conversations about that as well. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment going into this year. You know, the Kenosha Cougars has done something that probably not many teams have done. We've never hit the red. We've always been in the black, even if it's by $1, and we've been able to manage to get our games up to the next level, and it's just grown every single year.
Pete, I think an important part of this team, we talked about injuries, and I think player training is going to be very important to get this team going. Your opinion on that?
Oh, absolutely. Tom, we've coached together. Can you speak to that a little bit? What kind of expectations do you have on the players during the off season?
Well, number one, I think the focus on getting younger this year. You know, no offense to the older guys.
What are you trying to say?
No offense to the older guys on our team here, but you know, with a league that has an average age around about 26 years old, we were average age around 33 last year. So obviously, we need to get younger, and we're focusing on doing that this off season. Along with youth comes, you know, more explosive players as well, and we've done a really good job recruiting this year. I'm not going to give away any trade secrets here, but you're going to see a much different Kenosha Cougars football team this year.
I didn't really realize how old our team was until we actually had they did an article in He magazine, and they asked me, how many players do you have over the age of 35? And I was like, well, there can't be that many. You know, there's myself, of course. I just hit 35 this year. But I started listing them off. You know, we got Adrian Abbott, we got Derek Gardner, we got, you know, and I started going on and on and on. We actually had 8 guys over the age of 35, which has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is you got a more mature group. Okay, we didn't have, one thing that I will say was a success for last year, we didn't have a lot of complaining on the sidelines. The team meshed really well for what we had, you know, despite all the injuries. We had our challenges going against new coaches, and I'll say against, but you know, we had our challenges that we were going into, but with the more mature team, definitely had its advantages. It's just we had the wrong things happen the wrong time.
I'll add one more. I've been done most of the games. I was at most of the games, and one thing about having a mature team, when you get behind, you don't see that panic. You don't see guys finger pointing and saying, you know, hey, get a better block, catch the ball. You don't see that. Yeah, we get behind, but we always seem to get back in the ball game, and I have to kudos some of that to Coach Tom and showing the team that never give up. It's a 60-minute game. It's not, you know, 49 minutes or whatever. You got to play the whole game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one thing I've always prided myself in is being a steady constant on the sideline, because the players take direction from me. If I'm panicking, they're panicking, and if I stay even keeled, they're going to continue with the game plan as we drawn out before the game, and you're going to stick with it as long as I stick with it. And you know, I think my coaching staff does a very good job of mirroring that with me, and you know, I think the players bought in. It took a while to buy in, but we finally bought in, and once we did, we were a different football team. So
that's why I could finally put 5-5 last year to bed. It's to rest, and I don't expect that this year, Pete. I expect big things from this football team. I expect exciting things, and that's what we're going to talk about now. Some of the off-season charity events that this team's going to do, and we do a lot of local events. You'll see this team in Racine, Kenosha, and that's why this team is above all these other teams. I really feel that we do a lot of charity work and a lot of great things that don't get enough credit, and it starts with this guy right to our left, Eric, and you make sure that from members from the team to volunteers really get involved in the community.
I can't take all the credit on that. Savino jumped in when he became an owner. He jumped in immediately with his charitable heart. He got the Women's and Children's Horizon going. He got the Polar Plunge going. So it was fueling the fire with him, and doing it jointly. This year we got Tom and Melissa on board to be able to help us to take it to the next level, and we got some good ideas that are going to take that charity to the next level and get more involved in the community, and not only just give them money but have some fun with it. It's we got Dayton Residential Home that we hooked up with this year. We had Derek Gardner, Tom, Melissa, and we went in there and talked to the guys. These are disabled vets that are in a home. They live off the government, a lot of them, and it's just getting out. They're a lot of the times they don't really have a lot of money to go about, but they want to get out. They want entertainment. This is a perfect opportunity for us to be able to help each other. We're always looking to have fans in the stands. We're always looking to get them to come watch us. That's their entertainment. It's a scratch each other's back type of scenario. And we remember that guy, gentleman that we talked to. That guy was just hilarious. He hadn't talked much in like three months or something like that, and I couldn't believe it when I was told that, because this guy he kept on talking, and it was great. They were so intrigued about it, and we were having fun, and that was the most important thing. We are a team of vets. I'm a former Marine myself. We had Derek Gardner. We had a lot of guys from the Navy base. To include Bruce Johnson last year, Deshaun Oliver, Tebow Bignum, just to name a few. And they're coming in more and more this year, and we want to give to the vets as well.
Polar plunge this year, Pete. You're going to jump in the water with
Absolutely,
us
I'll be there.
All right, there you go.
I will be there for that.
You're a braver man than I am.
Last year, me and Eric had injuries. We didn't go in the water. Actually, I had chickenitis, but Savino jumped in the water, and I'll tell you what, just watching their reaction, my goodness. But going back to what this semi-pro football team does, I mean, the way the world's going, it's crazy, but all the events taking place, the things that we don't know why. But to get away for a couple hours to watch guys that are going out there not getting paid, they're doing this for the love of the game. And Pete, to see them go out there, give their bodies up, their regular jobs, and to entertain, and that's what we're doing. And that's what semi-pro football, 8-man gridiron football, GFL is all about.
Any of our fans, we want to let them know to KenoshaCougars.com. There's information on all of those charity events. They can get involved.
Absolutely.
So please visit our website at KenoshaCougars.com.
And when he talks about getting involved, come on, jump with us in the polar plunge. Last year, I did have a training accident that I couldn't jump. That was the first polar plunge I missed in 6 years, I believe it was. 5 years, six years in a row. That hurt. But anyways, we want you to go ahead and jump with us. We're going to be taking on other teams that may want to go ahead and give up a little bit. We've raised over $6,000 towards the Special Olympics in the past 5 years, and it's been incredible.
No, we just got through with the
we'll get
toy
Tom.
drive as well for Women Children's Horizon. It was a huge success. We had 4 great big boxes, almost as big as this table, full of toys, and it was a lot of fun to be able to provide a pleasant Christmas for these kids.
And talking about toy drives, that's what this team is all about, this organization, giving back to the community, kids that are unfortunate, that don't have, won't have gifts at the Christmas tree this year, but thanks to the Kenosha Cougars and all the effort between all the guys helping out, like Savino Macias, head coach Tom Osborne, and Eric, and everyone else in the organization, thank you very much for showing why we're a class organization. And Pete, how do you feel so far? You're new to the team and everything. What do you think so far?
I like what I hear. I'm excited about this upcoming season. Well, I tell you what, I'm really interested in hearing more about the team since I'm new. The highlights from last year, like who stepped up for us. Maybe Coach, you could talk to that.
We had several
You don't
guys.
have to brag too much.
We had
about
several
me.
guys
Just
step
leave
up
that
last
alone.
year, actually. Early on, I would say, we had Adrian Abbott and Spencer Best that really stepped in the role after Dave went down with his broken leg this year. Neither one of them have ever played quarterback before, so we Adrian being a running back, at least had an idea what goes on the backfield. Stepped in, did a nice job for us. And then we even rotated Big Spencer in there, 6'7", 280 pounds, lineman playing quarterback, and just an amazing sight to watch. The guy had a laser cannon for an arm, but in the end, obviously we needed to get.
Well, with 13 players,
Right.
I mean, it's hard to field a team with 13 players and be competitive, and you did that.
Well, I mean, we didn't have 13 all year, but we did, have some early injuries that did knock us down quite a bit.
Any surprises you could talk about? Is there one person that you could pinpoint that you just didn't see it and just?
Well, one of the big guys that stepped up for us obviously was our team MVP this year, Ronaldo Gallardo. Just an amazing athlete. Played linebacker for us. I think he had probably owned the stats on almost every category on defense.
No, you just watch the highlight.
Yeah, I
reels.
mean, you watch the highlight.
You'll
He's in
see
every
him.
one of them. Just really became a team leader, and not only by his play on the field, but by his actions off the field. So it was really refreshing to see someone step up like that.
I was impressed as I was watching some of the videos today. Actually, I saw some long bomb passes, some long pass plays. I was actually surprised at some of the huge yardage that we gained on those plays.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are those by design?
Oh yeah, definitely. Nate Moses is probably the fastest receiver in the GFL. Just another amazing athlete that came out of nowhere. For at least for me, being new to the league. We had a nickname for him. He didn't like the nickname so much. It was one route, because that dude could fly down the field. And so in having Anthony that had a heck of an arm on him, not many teams could cover it.
So I understand we have tryouts coming up. Can you speak to that a little bit? How does that work, and who are you inviting?
Well, basically, as every year, the tryouts are open to anybody that wants to try out for the Kenosha Cougars. Anybody can go on our website and fill out a player application and show up to tryouts. One thing we are requiring this year, we hadn't in the past, is we're going to have everybody take the team physical before they can even try out.
And performance evaluations.
Performance evaluations. To going back to that injury topic,
Right.
make sure we're getting healthy players to start with. Secondly, we've been recruiting like crazy. Between my staff and I, we've been coaching a long time, and we have a lot of former players that we know of, and friends of former players, and we're really doing a good job in recruiting. I think we got a lot of high-end talent coming in the door. Proof will be in the pudding when they get on the field. But
Guys that he's already coached, and he's younger than me, so that just kind of tells you.
I ain't got these gray hairs for nothing. So. But we definitely got some nice looking talent coming in.
I.e. Gary Padgett,
Yep.
former player.
Gary was actually, that was one of my biggest surprises last year, was walking in the door and seeing Gary Padgett. I coached him when he was in 8th grade, and walking in umpteen years later, and here he is, and he's one of the best defensive players on the team. So it was really refreshing to see that. So made me feel old.
Information on the tryouts can be accessed on KenoshaCougars.com.
Yeah, KenoshaCougars.com. We put stuff on Facebook all the time as well, so anybody can access it.
Okay. So 8-man football, that can be definitely different. And when you come into a game, we mentioned that you had a game where you were down to 13 men due to injuries. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
So as players and coach, how'd you guys handle that, and talk about that game? I understand that was a very impressive performance.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. When we first started that game, I was just like, kind of wondering how we were gonna get through it, because just seeing 13 guys on the sideline, and usually having 20 over there was, quite a adjustment. But we started the game off before the game. We told them, look, doesn't matter if we have 13 here or we have 30. We need to come out here and we need to battle for this playoff spot. So, we need to come out and give us, 110%. And, when you walk off this field, know you walked off the field and you gave it everything you had. And I think every man down to the last man did that. I don't think there was a guy that came out the field that wasn't completely gassed in that game. But, we lost the game, but I was very proud of the effort we gave. And, 13 versus 40, I'll take my 13 any day. So.
Well, coming down from a roster of 33 is what we started the season with. Going down to 13, we actually showed up to that game with 15 players, with Harold Marcus and who was the second injury? We had another injury in there as well. by the halftime. So the one thing I saw, I've never been more proud to be in a game than I was that game. I'm usually the first one out on the field, and I see Randy Ham over there gasping because he just got off defense. And I'm like, hey, how are you doing? He's like, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, it was a blast. You get back on the line, linemen would just look at each other and say, let's do this, you need any help? And it was a really fun time. I mean, we got our butts whooped. I'm not, not going to lie about that, but it was not from a lack of effort. It wasn't from lack of anything else. Everybody gave 100%. There wasn't a single guy out of the 13 players that weren't doing everything they possibly can. So
It doesn't sound like there was ever a thought that you weren't going to take the field.
No. That's not my blood. It's not my DNA. I don't think it was in anybody on our team. We work a lot.
That's impressive to me. It seems like at some point you got to tap out and go, okay, this is not going to be competitive. But I don't hear that. It wasn't even part of the conversation or thought process.
Nobody wanted to. It was, I mean, teamwork at its best. I mean, everybody wanted to play. We were there not for the score, not for anything else but the love of the game. I mean, you had some of the players, even out of 13, there was 2 or 3 that were injured, that were just playing on, just waiting for that one hit to take them out of the game. It was fun. You can't say anything more about it than it was just a fun football game.
And
nothing else mattered.
And to be honest with you, we were in that game until the fourth quarter, so it wasn't like at any point we were just getting blown out of the water, even though the final score said a different story. But, it was a much more competitive game than the score would
So we could easily say there's no quit in the Cougars.
Absolutely.
Just like our saying, no excuses, just results. And, the results were a loss, but there was no excuses.
That's right.
We gave everything that we had. We can easily look ourselves in the mirror at the end of that game with a smile on our face. So can't have anything more than that. The Chaos, they went on. We played them the following week. We lost again. We had, I think we were up to 20 players that game.
Yeah.
We lost again, and they ended up winning the whole entire championship. So congratulations to them, and we'll see them next year.
Right.
They won't
And what
be a
is
repeat.
what is the standard roster size? Is there a max roster you can carry?
I don't know what the max is, but I know we typically carry between 30 and 35.
The max is about 40. Not about 40. It is
Yeah.
40. You can't have any more than 40.
Right.
Okay.
And you're allowed to subtract 2 guys. Once the season starts, you're allowed to subtract 2 guys per week, and as long as you can add 2 guys as long as you subtract 2 guys.
And
So you
speaking
can't
of this,
go from
and
30
speaking
to
of this
35
game,
per week.
is this game one of the videos that you can access on KenoshaCougars.com?
I believe we do have some footage up there. We typically, the footage rotates throughout the season, but
So make sure you go to KenoshaCougars.com. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank Bill Fritsch, voice of the Kenosha Cougars. My name is Peter Herman. I'm new, but I'll be in with Bill doing a color commentary for him. To my left here, Eric Daniel, and our head coach, Tom Osborne. I want to thank all you viewers on Car 25 and also our YouTube viewers as well. And look forward to next week, another edition of Man Up.